For the first, if the empire of a commonwealth be patronage, to ask whether it be lawful for a commonwealth to aspire unto the empire of the world, as to ask whether it be lawful for her to do her duty, or to put the world into a better condition than it was before. And to ask whether this be feasible is to ask why the Oceana, being under the like administration of government, may not do as much with 200 men as the Roman did with 100. For comparing their commonwealths in their rise, the difference is yet greater. Now that Rome, seris avaritia luxuriaque, through the natural thirst of her constitution, came at length with the fullness of her provinces to burst herself. This is no otherwise to be understood than as when a man that from his own evil constitution had contracted the dropsy dies with drinking, it being apparent that in case her agrarian had held, she could never have been thus ruined. And I have already demonstrated that your agrarian, being once poised, can never break or swerve. Wherefore, to draw towards some conclusion of this discourse, let me inculcate the use, by selecting a few considerations out of many. The regard had in this place unto the empire of the world appertaineth to a well-ordered commonwealth, more especially for two reasons. One, the facility of this great enterprise by a government of the model proposed. Two, the danger that you would run in the omission of such government. The facility of this enterprise upon the grounds already laid must needs be great, for as much as the empire of the world hath been, both in reason and experience, the necessary consequence of a commonwealth of this nature only, for though it have been given unto all kinds to drive at it, inasmuch as that of Athens or Lacedaemon, if the one had not hung in the other's light, might have gained it, yet could neither of them have held it, not Athens through the matter of her propagation, which being by downright tyranny could not preserve what she had, nor Lacedaemon because she was overthrown by the weight of a less conquest. The facility, then, of this great enterprise being peculiar unto popular government, I shall consider it, first in gaining and secondly in holding. For the former, volenti non fit injuria, it is said of the people under Eumenes that they would not have changed their subjection for liberty, wherefore the Romans gave them no disturbance. If a people be contented with their government, it is a certain sign that it is good, and much good do them with it. The sword of your magistracy is for a terror unto them that do evil. Eumenes had the fear of God, or of the Romans, before his eyes. Concerning such he hath given you no commission. But till we can say, here are the Romans, where is Eumenes? Do not think that the late appearances of God unto you have been altogether for yourselves. He hath surely seen the affliction of your brethren, and heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters. For to believe otherwise is not only to be mindless in his ways, but altogether deaf. If you have ears to hear, this is the way in which you will assuredly be called upon. For if while there is no stock of liberty, no sanctuary of the afflicted, it be a common object to behold a people casting themselves out of the pan of one prince into the fire of another, what can you think? But if the world should see the Roman eagle again, she would renew her age and her flight, nor even did she spread her wing with better omen than will be read in your ensigns, which, if called in by an oppressed people, they interpose between them and their yoke. The people themselves must either do nothing in the meantime, or have no more pains to take for their wished fruit than to gather it. If that be not done for them, wherefore this must needs be easy, and yet you have a greater facility than is in the arm of flesh. For if the cause of mankind be the cause of God, the Lord of hosts will be your captain, and you shall be a praise unto the earth. The facility of holding is in the way of your propagation. If you take that of Athens and Lacedaemon, you shall rain snares, but either catch or hold nothing. Lying lips are an abomination unto the Lord. If setting up for liberty you impose yokes, he will assuredly destroy you. Or, on the other side, to go about a work of this nature by a league without any head to be is to abdicate that magistracy, wherewithal he hath not only endued you, but whereof he will require an account of you. For cursed is he that doth the work of the Lord negligently. Wherefore you are to take the course of Rome. If you have subdued a nation that is capable of liberty, you shall make them a present of it, as did Flaminius unto Greece, and Emilius unto Macedon, reserving unto yourselves some part of that revenue which was legally paid unto the former government, together with the right of being head of the league, which includeth such levies of men and money as shall be necessary for the carrying on of the public work. For if a people have by your means attained unto freedom, they owe both unto the cause and you such aid as may propagate the like fruit unto the rest of the world. But whereas every nation is not capable of her liberty unto this degree, lest you be put to doing and undoing of things as the Romans were in Macedon, you shall diligently observe what nation is fit for her liberty unto this degree, and what not, which is to be done by 2 marks. The first, if she be willing to help the Lord against the mighty. For if she have no care of the liberty of mankind, she deserveth not her own. But because of this you may be deceived by pretenses, which, continuing for a while specious, may afterwards vanish. The other is more certain, and that is, if she be capable of an equal agrarian, which that it was not observed by excellent Emilius in his donation of liberty and introduction of a popular state among the Macedonians. I am more than moved to believe, for 2 reasons. The first, because at the same time the agrarian was odious unto the Roman patricians. The second, that the pseudo Philip could afterwards so easily recover Macedon, which could not have happened but by the nobility and their impatience, having great estates, to be equalled with the people, for that the people should otherwise, at the mere sound of a name, have thrown away their liberty, is incredible. Wherefore, be assured that the nation where you cannot establish an equal agrarian is incapable of their liberty as to this kind of donation. For example, except the aristocracy of Marpesia be dissolved, neither can that people have their liberty there, nor you govern at home, for that they continuing still liable to be sold by their lords unto foreign princes, there will never, especially in a country of which there is no other profit to be made, be want of such merchants and drovers, while you must be the market where they are to receive their second payment. Nor can the aristocracy there be dissolved but by your means, in relation whereunto you are provided with your provincial orb, which being proportioned unto the measure of the nation that you have vindicated or conquered, will easily hold it. For there is not a people in the world more difficult to be held than the Marpesians, which though by themselves it be given unto their own nature, is truly to be attributed unto that of their country. Nevertheless, you having 9,000 men upon the continual guard of it, that, threatened by any sudden insurrection, have places to retreat, and an army of 40,000 men upon a day's warning, ready to march unto their rescue, it is not to be rationally shown which way they can possibly slip out of your hands. And if a man shall think that upon a province more remote and divided by sea you have not the like hold, he hath not so well considered your wings as your talons, your shipping being of such nature as maketh the descent of your armies almost of equal facility in any country, so that what you take you hold, both because your militia, being already populous, will be of great growth in itself, and through the confederates, by whom in taking and holding you are still more enabled to take and hold. Nor shall you easilier hold than the people under your empire or patronage be held. My lords, I would not go unto the door to see whether it be rimarum plena, close shut. This is no underboard dealing, nor game at which he shall have any advantage against you that sees your cards, but to the contrary, the advantage shall be your own. For with 18,000 men, which number I put because it circulates your orb, by the annual charge of 6,000, having set the matters in the order shown, you will be able to hold the greatest province, and 18,000 men, allowing them greater pay than any prince ever gave, will not stand the province in 1,000,000 revenue. In consideration whereof they shall have their own estates free unto themselves, be governed by their own laws and magistrates, which, if the revenue of the province be in dry rents, as there may be some that are 4 times as big in Oceana, 40 millions, will bring it with that of industry, to speak with the least, unto twice the value, so that the people there, who at this day are so oppressed that they have nothing at all whereupon to live, shall for 1,000,000 paid unto you receive at the least 79 unto their proper use. In which place I appeal unto any man whether the empire described can be other than the patronage of the world. Now, if you add unto the propagation of civil liberty what is so natural unto the commonwealth that it cannot be omitted, the propagation of the liberty of conscience, this empire, this patronage of the world, is the kingdom of Christ. For as the kingdom of God the Father was a commonwealth, so shall be the kingdom of God the Son. The people shall be willing in the day of his power. Having showed you in this and other places some of those inestimable benefits of this kind of government, together with the natural and facile emanation of them from their fountain, I come, lest God, who hath appeared unto you, for he is the God of nature, in the glorious constellation of these subordinate causes whereof we have hitherto been taking the true elevation, should shake off the dust of his feet against you, to warn you of your dangers, which you, not taking the opportunity, will run by omission. Machiavel, speaking of the defect of Venice through her want of proper arms, cries out, Questo tagliogli le gambe da montar in cielo. This cut her wings and spoiled her mount unto heaven. If you lay your commonwealth upon any other foundation than the people, you frustrate yourself of proper arms, and so lose the empire of the world. Nor is this all, but some other nation will have it. Columbus offered gold unto one of your kings, through whose happy incredulity another prince hath drunk the poison, even unto the consummation of his people. But I do not offer you a nerve of war that is made of purse strings, such an one as hath drawn the face of the earth into convulsions, but such an one as is natural unto her health and beauty. Look you to it. Where there is tumbling and tossing upon the bed of sickness, it must end in death or recovery. Though the people of the world, in the dregs of the Gothic Empire, be yet tumbling and tossing upon the bed of sickness, they cannot die, nor is there any means of recovery for them, but by ancient prudence, whence of necessity it must come to pass that this drug be better known. If France, Italy, and Spain were not all sick, all corrupted together, there would be none of them so, for the sick would not be able to withstand the sound, nor the sound to preserve her health without curing the sick. The first of these nations, which is to say her leisure, will in my mind be France, that recovers the health of ancient prudence shall assuredly govern the world. For what did Italy when she had it? And as you were in that, so shall you in the like case be reduced unto a province. I do not speak at random. Italy, El Emilio Papo, si Attilio Regulo Cos, armed upon the Gallic tumult that then happened of herself, and without the aid of foreign auxiliaries, 70,000 horse and 700,000 foot. But as Italy is the least of those three countries in extent, so is France the greatest in population. E decus, e nostrum, melioribus utere fatis. My dear lords, Oceana is as the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valley, as the lily among thorns. Such is my love among the daughters. She is comely as the tents of Kedar, and terrible as an army without banners. Her neck is as the tower of David, builded for an armory, upon whereon there hang 1,000 bucklers and shields of mighty men. Let me hear thy voice in the morning, whom my soul loveth. The soul hath dropped, and the west is breathing upon thy garden of spices. Arise, Queen of the earth, arise, holy spouse of Jesus. For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing of birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land. Arise, I say, come forth, and do not tarry. Ah, wherefore should mine eyes behold thee by the rivers of Babylon, hanging thy harps upon the willows, thou fairest among women? Excellent patriots of the people by sovereign, here is that which establish her prerogative. If we be sincere, here is that which disburdeneth our souls, maketh good all our engagements. If we be charitable, here is that which embraceth all parties. If we would be settled, here is that which will stand. If our religion be anything else but a vain boast, scratching and defacing human nature or reason, which being the image of God makes it a kind of murder, here is that empire whence justice shall run down like a river, and judgment like a mighty stream. Who is it then that calls us? Or what is in our way, a lion? Is it not the dragon, that old serpent? For what wretched shifts are these? Here is a great deal. Might we not have some of this at one time and some at another? My lords, permit me to give you the sum or brief.